Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we are playing on the Samurai and I've got a very interesting build for you. Don't worry, I know what we posted on the community page. We are going to start a 0 to hero very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. We'll probably land up doing multiple videos in a day where we can play with late game stuff as well as the 0 to hero, so keep your eyes peeled. But for today we're just going to be playing on the Samurai. I wanted to show you guys a really fun build with him that uses different runes to what you typically use. So firstly, to understand how everything works, we're going to turn off the runes over here and we're just going to go into a round just so I can show you the way that this all works. So if we push escape, you can see our damage modifiers without any runes is 147%. So that's with nothing going on. We're sitting at 147%. That's just with our skill tree. So being maxed out, we get 147% increased damage. Now, the way that this works is we are playing with Generalist. The way Generalist works is every single time we have a different skill typing, we gain 1.5% multiplicative damage. So every time we take a damage upgrade, it's going to be increased by whatever amount times 1.5%. So it's multiplicative, not additive, and it's a base damage increase. So it's really strong, and it can give you quite a lot. There are a lot of skills that have multiple what do we call them, skill typings, so we can take advantage of that. The first skill is going to be the chromatic skills. We've got chromatic bolt and chromatic slash. There is a big difference between the two. Chromatic slash has a swing, thrust and slam in it, while chromatic bolt has projectile, bomb, blast and missile. So in conjunction with the two of them, you actually get a whack ton of all of the skill typings that you need. However, there are still other skills that we need to get every single skill typing in the game. So I have a little bit of a build. It's taking Last Stand, which is going to give us lasting aura. We then take Heart-Rending Strike, which is going to give us a frontal area secret. We then got a bolt, a chromatic bolt and chromatic slash. We've then got a bloodlust, which I'm actually not going to be taking. We're actually going to be using a skill ass, a skill mastery ass for a different buff instead. And then we're also going to take shadow sparks for burst, because that isn't part of any of these, and it also gives us a number of stacks of dooms on the target, increases the damage, so it gives us a damaging element skill as well, so we can get as many doom stacks to increase that. The other two skills that we're going to be running are going to be the Ice Totem, which gives us static and summon, and then the Glacial affinity, which we mentioned is the same as bloodlust. It gives us empowering, lasting and area. So that should give us a whack ton of area tags, and we should get a whole lot of damage. So already, just as a difference perspective, I think it was 147 damage, I believe it was. So just off of the start over here, getting something like, actually we can check here, we're on 110% increased damage. If we go and we take chromatic slash, we then at 157% increased total damage over there. So already it went from 110 to 157. That was just a good example of how it works. But let's go off into the Titan Hunt and see how well it does. I think we can actually do a +3. We haven't done anything there. We'll take it to a +3, see how strong it is. And I don't actually want to start with a Shadow Spark. Hopefully it makes its way back, but there's no point in taking it when we don't do any damage yet. So until we get some Doom stacks, Shadow Spark isn't going to be that important. We are going to start off with our Broken player because it's the easiest one to grab. The Shattered makes the most amount of sense. And we can then grab other things after that. Okay, we got 2 levels, critical strike chance, and then we're just going to keep re-rolling. There's Last Stand, fantastic. Last Stand is such a fun skill to play with. Also, it gives us fragility and condemned, so it can be very strong, as well as gaining finesse. So very good skill for us. We'll start off with the +2 over here. Also, it looks like the cooldown of the skill exceeds the duration, so it is always up 24/7. So we don't even need cooldown for this skill anymore. Alright, we can go for area of effect. Actually, we're going to go multicast chance. We can grab some no, we can't. We could. Okay, we'll grab the damage over there. It doesn't really matter right now. We will not grab Bloodlust. We need Chromatic Bolt, and there's Frost Totems. So we're going to focus on 2 negative effects this round. We're going to be focusing on Doom, and then we're also going to be focusing on Slow. And the reason is for the Glacial affinity, because it gives us a whack ton of damage increase. But you noticed we were on 110 in the very beginning, we're now on 182, and that number is just going to keep going up and up and up. Took a lot of damage there. Unfortunately, we're in a very bad corner, but we'll be able to heal it all back up anyway. Thanks to our skill tree, and every time we level up, there's also health crystals on the minimap. If you have a look over here, we are being led to a health crystal in the corner, and that just gave us 55 life. So a lot of life coming in over there from the crystal. Alright, we can take the Shadow Spark now. Grab a slow, a swing to blast, no. There's Chromatic Slash, so we go from 186 damage up to 192. And we can grab ourselves some critical strike chance over there, that's beautiful. What else is the last skill? We're looking for Glacial Affinity. I'll take the Bloodlust for now, but it's not what we're looking for. Over here, these are so... Okay, Ice to Shadow is actually fine, because that means Shadow Spark now gets 4 skills that are trying to make a proc sooner. So anything into Shadow will be good. All the other ones are not so great. Actually, into Swing is also fine. But we need to get a Doom on hit now. And not get hit with Doom. Okay. Do we get there? We go. Thank you very much. That's all the skills we need. And we also get Critical Strikes may now apply Doom. And we also get Doom on normal attacks. So that's just going to help us increase the amount of damage that Shadow Spark does. But because we've got Glacial Affinity, which increases our maximum bonus of damage by 220% if we have the maximum amount of slow stacks on enemies, it gives us a whack ton of damage, 471. And then we can add the multiplicative effect of our Ascension as well. So we'll actually wait for them to proc again. So wait for Glacial Affinity to proc. We're on 261 damage. We're going to grab this. It's a 50% multiplicative damage. So it went from 200 to 441. And then if you even add even more Glacial Affinity stacks, it's going to be increased even further. So insane amount of damage scaling. Swing to Holy, swing to Earth. No, we'll grab the movement speed. Increase the damage of every Doom you apply. We don't need damage of Doom to be increased. We just need the amount of stacks it applies to be increased. So that's what we're going to grab. Cast frequency, yes. That's swing to Shadow. We want everything to Shadow. Doom. Cast frequencies are good. We don't need bleed. Swing to Chaos. We don't need either, so we'll just re-roll. Some block. So now we can use our re-rolls efficiently since we're not looking for skills anymore. And I've been wanting to do this this run for quite a bit. Okay, damage increase for Last Stand is fine. Sharp Blades is actually very good. So all the skills that have swing in them, because this doesn't have swing. This has swing, this has swing. So we've got 3 swing skills. What's going to happen is it gives a 60% multicast chance for all of the other skills. Unfortunately, it does not increase the multicast chance of buffs. They do not gain multicast chance, so do not worry about that. We don't need burn. Do we need burn? No, we don't. We've already got slow. The only reason we'd take burn is to go from burn to slow, slow to disarray. But we've already got 2 slow skills, or slow chances, or the sources of slow, sorry. So we don't need the the burn to slow. Alright, another boss fight down and dusted pretty quickly. There's poison. We are going to grab one poison. We're also going to have the opportunity. We've got 2 sources already, so the damage over there is actually more important. Grab that. Crit, good. Cast frequency, although we do know our base crit is already over 100%. Now, a lot of you have been asking, Broken, why do we need to go over 100% critical strike chance? Well, the reason is quite simple. What happens is crit can what we call multi-crit. So if you have 100% critical strike chance, what's going to happen is that the game is going to crit on every single attack. That's excluding your multi-cast chance, which we're not going to include for the sake of this. But what's going to happen is if you, let's say, had 0 multi-cast chance and you hit an enemy once with an attack, that attack is guaranteed to crit with 100%. If you get 150%, that attack then has a chance to guarantee a crit, but also a chance for then that same attack to crit a second time. So that's what we mean by multi-crit. If you have 200% critical strike chance, you're guaranteed on every single attack to crit twice, and so on and so forth. So every percentage over the 100% is going to increase your chance to crit another time. And then the 100th chance is guaranteed. So 200, 300, 400, 500, and so on is all guaranteed to be a crit. Alright, increase doom, cast frequency, and health. And we can actually lower visibility a little bit. We'll just put her at 60% using the I and the O button. Another question I get a whole lot of the time is if you look at the way that I play the game and you're wondering, Broken, how come when you level up it doesn't force you to level up in the game? That is because I have something called auto level up turned off in the settings. So you literally just go into settings, it's in the general tab, like over here, you go settings, it's in the general, it's the first option, auto level up. You turn it off, and the only reason I turn it off is because it interrupts gameplay, and I know that's why a lot of you have been saying, how do we turn it off? But sometimes it's not actually a good thing, because if you get a magnetic and you've already accumulated like 20 level ups, then you've wasted 19 level ups without having that additional XP with the magnetic, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's not actually a good thing, but majority of the time it's actually very, very useful in terms of fluidity of gameplay. That's slow to brittle, which will be very strong. Or we can go poison to dazed. We'll go slow to brittle afterwards. Let's get the poison to dazed first. And it also gives us the opportunity to spend a little bit more time trying to get the slow to disarray. By the way, if you don't do the 5th sigil, so Sigil of the Void, you'll end up fighting random corrupted Void Hunters. So normally you fight the Arcane Weaver, but this time we'll actually fight someone different. So the moveset's going to be completely different. There's a set amount of them. I think there's like 5 of them. I fought against the... who do we call them again? The Houndmaster. I fought the Barbarian, I believe it was. So there's the Spellblade, and then there's also... maybe 1 or 2 others, and I haven't seen them yet. So pretty cool that there's a whole bunch of different fights that you get to fight. They are randomly spawned though, so you know, sometimes you'll fight one and you won't see the other times you'll fight the other and not see the one. Gonna grab the poison there just in case the game wants us to have it. We can go with skill. This is fine. I mean, we do have swing skills, so it's fine to grab that. We don't need the bleed. Get that. Cast frequency. Merciless. And we just want to try and banish all the other negative effects. Again, we only want slow and doom. We just got the poison so that we can get poison to dazed. Okay, critical strike. Increase our slow. We'll grab HP, critical strike chance, and we're on 342% increased damage. That just went up to 600. We'll take a look near the end to see, like, once we've got more slow stacks, once we've increased the potency or the damage of the Glacial affinity, just how much damage we get from this. But then the whole point of the build is to get all of the skill tags in the game, which hopefully I did get. Maybe I missed one. I'm not 100% sure. We actually take a Heartrending Strike only because it has the secret tag, which never used to be a thing when the Generalist Rune actually came out. So the skills, even though they were secret, never used to have the secret tagging. So now they've got that. Some potency increase, health, more movement speed. We're getting some decent upgrades over here. But we do have some decent rerolls as well, which we now need to use. Move. Trying to go through the Torii gates over here, game. And there we go. Big boost to our damage. Go and do... Actually, we don't need to do this one. We'll go do the one at the front. It's much of a muchness. Okay, skill, swing to slam, we don't need. Critical strike chance, ask to bomb, we don't need, so we'll grab the slow. Damage increase over here is very good, so you can see we're on 328. If we take that, it goes up to 408. So very, very big increase over there. It's pretty much a potency upgrade for the Glacial Affinity. So any damage increase that's going to affect Glacial Affinity is definitely a priority as well, because that's going to increase our overall damage amount or damage modifier, which means that everything else is going to get increased damage over there as well. Shadow to swing is fine. We don't need these weird and wonderful ones. I'm not going to banish them either though, but maybe we would eventually, just because it gets out of hand. But swing, or skill chains are actually very, very powerful. But when you have just too many of them, it's kind of stupid. Gets out of hand. So the boss currently has how many slow stacks on them? I don't even know which one's slow. I think 800? No. Yeah. It's only about 300. Is that slow? No. It's only got 500 slow stacks on him though. So we need even more slow stacks. Just as a good opportunity to see this, our Glacial Affinity is about a proc, and our damage went to 707%. Also, I just got hit right at the end there. Fantastic. But it's because I'm focusing on trying to see how these things are working to show you guys more than I am focusing on trying to stay alive. So that was a bit silly of me. It's fine. It shouldn't happen again. We can go to Volkage and Vivolt now, and hopefully we can find Slow to Disarray.
My blade is the answer. Fragment now, Titan blood soon.
Okay, we got the Torii gate open. We can't get it because of the circle. That's not really a problem. We'll just finish off the circle. We need more ice. More slow, I mean. Because right now I don't think we're stacking enough of it. Nature to swing is also fine to get. We don't need the poison to doom. Don't need any doom whatsoever. The game's giving it to us through the chromatic slash and chromatic bolt, and that's more than enough doom for me. I'm pretty sure I went through that gate though. Alright, increased damage. Wait for the Glacial Strike to happen. Glacial Affinity mean. When we're on 100 and 1,000, sorry, damage increase. Beautiful. More slow, magnetics work well, critical strike chance, and more doom, I guess. We need doom. I guess we could go poison to doom because of that, but I mean, really, it's not gonna. I mean, it's just an extra stack of doom every time we poison, and only a chance of it actually happening. Okay, I'll grab one. I forgot we're playing Shadow Spark as a damaging skill. So it actually benefits us going Poison to Doom. Also, this is on 60% visual. The skill's quite scary. Okay, we got 8 levels. We'll take more Poison, more cast speed. Shadow to Arcane, no. Crits. Damage is fine. Critical strike chance or damage. We can go for damage rather. Some more crit. Multicast is good. More Doom is good. It's just unfortunate that Shadow Spark is a random like attack in a direction. It doesn't attack in a specific direction, so even though it does a decent amount of damage, we can't guarantee it's going to hit the target we're trying to hit. So it's a bit meh in that sense, but it's still very, very strong. Increased damage, we need even more cast frequency still. Multicast, Shadow to Us is also very strong, so we're actually going to lock that option. And I think we actually need Area of Effect for Last Stand. Because the more Area of Effect, the further away we can hit enemies from. Okay, let's keep going. Doom. We can grab the cast frequency over there. Let's keep going. These fights are getting a little bit hectic. But as soon as we add more area of effect, which we'll start taking, things should get a little bit better.
My courage is rewarded.
Alright, there we go. Another boss fight down. We've only got 1s left, so we'll grab the one here and then the one in the corner there right by the boss fight. I think this boss fight's actually going to be very, very hectic. We do get a damage increase with the bulwark, so that's going to be very helpful. And critical strikes may apply Doom as well is going to be very, very strong for us, since our main damaging skill is supposed to be the Shadow Spark. Also, it just went up from 199 to 364% damage because of the Glacial affinity. But that's also why we want Glacial affinity to be up 24/7. So we need the duration to exceed the cooldown to exceed the duration. I also just want to grab the Torii Gate because that's going to just give us increased damage. So now we're on 546 damage per stack. Also just grab this HP while we add it. $229, 546. We need even more Doom and even more slow. Okay, we nearly completed it.
Each shore draws me closer.
There we go. Just got this to go. Merciless is going to be very strong here. More slow. Damage increases, obviously 622 to 670. Vicious Strike is very strong here. And then Touch of Ice. Excuse the accent.
We face danger with resolve.
Alright, this is going to be rough, and we'll probably lose another HP over here, but it's fine. As long as we can actually get it done. And then grabbing something like Exposed will be very strong. We haven't picked up a Disarray, so there's nothing we can do about it. Thank goodness block is a thing. This is why we needed area of effect. I dodged into that. Come on, man. His laser beam is just as bad as the prophetess. Okay, we did dodge it that time, luckily. So we managed to do it. We'd have 0 lives left, so this is going to be quite difficult. I mean, the point was to show you a concept, and the concept's working. So over here, man, this is difficult because all of them are going to be... We're going to go Arenak. It's probably the easiest boss fight, and it's probably going to allow us to win this without worrying too much. Whew, this is hectic. But it's a build concept, so I mean, if I don't win the round, it's still fine. I don't expect it. We are +3 difficulty, so you know, if you did this on a lower difficulty, it would be a lot easier because having +3 gives the bosses a lot more different stats. Let's keep going. Slow, movement speed, multicast is fine. We can get more cast frequency. It's still not up 24/7. It makes a big difference, so we need to try and get that cast frequency down. Nearly there. Getting the slow to brittle did make us stronger as well. We did have the brittle rune, so 20% chance to increase or for all skills to apply brittle. But now that all skills are also applying slow, there's a higher chance for the brittle from them too. And brittle is just very strong overall, so that should increase our damage output quite a lot. Hopefully, that's the plan at least. Okay, swing to earth we don't need. I actually need area of effect. Nature to Ice, no. Critical strike chance, no, it's fine. We'll take another Ice upgrade. Need cast frequency, and we need cast frequency, multicasts, damage for our Shadow Spark, and just to be more careful. Area of effect for Last Stand is also going to be very strong. Okay, we want to try and not take unnecessary damage. Can't do the rest of our ascension. It's the only reason I don't like some ascensions that require you to run around. The fact that you're locked out of them because of, well, especially in Titan Hunt, it's so much more worse. Because it's a very powerful ascension, but we can't use it because we're locked out of it due to having to run out of the circle, which we can't do. Damage increase there, cast frequencies, potency upgrade over there for the Glacial. Beautiful. I mean, you can see 351 damage. I don't think we're gonna... Oh, actually, we did get it up again. 1,200. But I think that's just because we didn't grab enough. We don't have enough slows yet. We actually need even more. So area. Armor is going to be fantastic right now. Swing. Oh. These skill chains. This is the only problem, is we're getting a lot of negative effects as well as a lot of skill chains that we're not going to be using. So, I don't know. I normally stay away from builds like this, but it seemed like it was quite a fun one to try. Just stay out of the circles, Broken. You can see when Shadow Spark actually hits the boss because it chunks the boss for quite a lot of HP. Okay, so eventually it chunks the bosses, which is really good for us. Thrust skills, no. We'll just take another poison to dazed. It's fine. We never got a goblin this round either, which is pretty interesting, but that's fine. Let's go and defeat the bosses finally. Well, we've still got the Nether Realm to do.
The Titans have fallen. The gate must be opened now.
I wonder who the corrupted Void Hunt is going to be this time.
No fear, no doubt. Void King, your end begins now.
Okay, just get our damage up. There we go. Gotta make sure we dodge all of these abilities. We don't have any more life. So if we lose a life over here, it's game over.
The gate resists.
Okay. Ascension should help us deal more damage. Oh, that corner is dangerous. Alright, a damage upgrade, finally. Okay, that should be the last cast frequency as well. Perfect, so we can actually stop picking them up, or we can actually banish them now. There's a damage increase for everything, which is beautiful. If only we could have got the disarray. I think this would have been beyond broken. Like, just having that additional disarray makes things so much stronger. Also, why we fought the exact same thing over and over again.
His shield falters. Truth approaches. Such a mineral will serve the Forge well.
The only thing with Glacial affinity is that it does need slow stacks on the enemy. So unless you're fighting a boss, majority of the time you're not going to get that same amount going. Because as soon as an enemy dies, they lose all of those slow stacks that they otherwise would have had on them. Especially if it reprocs. So skill chaining to ice can actually be really bad for you. Because you could land up running away, like now we're running away, so none of the enemies have ice stacks on them. And we could then proc the Glacial affinity, and then that means that we don't actually do any damage because of it. Whereas if you have other buffs, like Bloodlust, it actually just buffs you. But it's only cast frequency and movement speed, which we don't need. And we got stuck. I do not like those. But you get the point of the build. It can do the difficulty at least. We got stuck, which is not very friendly. I know one or two of you are going to love this. Let me know what you think about the build itself, though. The concept of the way that the rune works and the way that it worked for this. Obviously, we have to use improved repository, which I never really got into. But and skill mastery ass. So yeah, take a look at it, try play it, don't do it on +3 because obviously you can see it's quite difficult, especially since we never got a single slow to disarray again. But if you're luckier than me and you do manage to get that, it will make it a far more powerful. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe survivors. Until next time, cheers.